Hey guys, I'm hopping on here to go over how to incorporate Screencastify, which was there was a PD session on today for recording lessons, virtual lessons, and importing or connecting them to Seesaw. I'm also going to kind of go over a little bit more of where you can grab things from the Wonders online platform and incorporate them into your lesson. So I'm on dual screen, so don't mind this, but you're looking at my screen, my Chrome desktop screen, and then over up in this top right hand corner I have my Screencastify extension for Google Chrome. This is essential because you can just click it on for anything you want to record, whether it's just the single tab you're on, so none of this excess would be up there, whether it is your whole desktop screen. You can go and add a video to it or just audio. Pick all of your preferences. I know they went over this in the session today. Ideally, I would not have my camera on right now, but I just wanted to show you where it would be if I was teaching a lesson to my kids, to kind of make that connection that I'm still here, I'm still their teacher, and they have that connection outside of just the virtual platform. But for right now, I'm going to exit out of my screen down at the bottom for my video, and that way it will turn off my video recording, but it should keep my web application open. So now, if I were recording my lesson, I could have this open and I could go to launch presentation to start. Say I'm starting the week, and I can open this up and we can discuss the essential question here. I can navigate from the top presentation tool, and I can pick, say I want to do my weekly opener video as a part of this lesson. I can keep recording and do my weekly opener video for the kids.
Up in the sky. What can you see in the sky? What?
After that video, I can go into teaching the vocabulary and ask the kids questions and have them tell them to respond on Seesaw after they watch the lesson. I can go over here to our vocab and click on the individual words and go through and talk about things like this. Of course, you're not going to have immediate interaction with your students, being that this will be recorded, but there are tons of ways you can go about incorporating your online curriculum through Screencastify and then uploading it onto Seesaw. So I'm going to log on out of this portion. I also had one of my readers open. Say I was doing a reading lesson and I wanted to lead them in that week's leveled reader. You can just open it up and read on through it. On the online platform, they have opportunities up here to highlight, edit, make notes. So if I were going through and I wanted to highlight something as I was reading and they were reading along with me, hopefully, they could go through and they could highlight and pick their color, and then that word is highlighted so they know exactly what I'm talking about. You can also turn on your cursor so that they can follow your cursor throughout. Now, after you finish this, you can, let me get out of this screen. When you decide you are done, you would go up to the top corner and press done or stop recording. It would look like this. But for this sake, I am going to go ahead and leave it recording so you can see me bounce over to Seesaw. So, sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. All right, so once I'm on Seesaw, you would do this through adding an activity. That way you can layer both your video with your format for students to respond. You could also send it through a hyperlink just on their journals, but the most effective way I've found to do it is to do it through their through their activities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add, and I'm going to put assign activity. From there, I'm going to go to create new activity. And then I would just put, let's see, I think that was unit 5, week 2, intro lesson. I would type my directions here, listen and follow. Oh dear. Lesson. Okay, so this would probably be more well thought out, but for right now, the first step would be to listen and follow along with the linked lesson, and the second step would be to respond to the student template. So then I can add voice directions saying just that. And then I'm going to add my lesson through add multimedia instructions or example. I'm going to press add, and then I am going to upload, and then select from my Google Drive. When they showed you how to set up Screencastify, they should have showed you that you can link it to have it automatically save whatever recordings you do to your Google Drive. So I'm going to do select from my Google Drive and hope that it works. Okay. Loading. Okay, so it will automatically put those videos into Screencastify, or you will see, the most recent activity I did would be right here. So I would select, and with the surplus of everyone on, it may take a while to upload activities. You just have to be patient. While that is uploading, while we're waiting for that to upload, I want to point out another virtual lesson tool that you may or may not have heard about. We're worried about grabbing all of our manipulatives from the classroom, or how to teach the same way we would in the classroom. And a resource I found is mathlearningcenter.org, and it has virtual number frame boards, virtual number racks. What do they call it? Rakuten? I don't know. A number line. So what you would do is you could click on the number frames while you're recording, and then I just use the web app, but if you're on a device, you can use something else. And then it has play around with this. It has all sorts of manipulatives to use. You can go here and click what kind of frame you want to import. And I could be recording my voice going over the lesson. I could be drawing my equation, 3, you probably should type it out or do it on a device, 3 plus 1 equals, and then I can pull over my counters to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Let's see, 3 plus 1, and then you can kind of go through your lesson that way. You can also make it interactive for the little ones by choosing different things for your counters, different colors. So say I want them to be butterflies. Now all of the counters I'm working with are going to be butterflies. Just lots of fun different things that you can do on here. Again, that's on mathlearningcenter.org for your math manipulatives, like a virtual whiteboard or manipulatives. All right, so now my lesson has been uploaded, so I'm going to press this green check mark to make sure it goes through. And again, wait. Okay, so now my example is attached. Say I want a student template for them to respond on. It could either be an exit ticket or asking them a question, or it could be a worksheet, whatever you want their template to be. You also don't need to add a template if you just want them to watch the video and then either respond from scratch or not respond, which I don't know that you would do that. But so I'm going to grab a template and I'm going to go back over to my home screen on Wonders. And then here, weekly printables. This is just the very home screen. There's all these weekly printables that I can pull up. So for example, I'm going to do the Your Turn practice book and pretend like it correlated directly with the lesson I just taught. So I'm going to click on it. And then the best way, which, let's see if this will work. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, that'll work. So I can save that image as Your Turn practice to my desktop and import it, or I can also take a screenshot, if you know how to take a screenshot of this page, and import it. So I've saved that page, and I'm going to go back to my activity, and I'm going to add a template. I'm going to upload my template from my computer, and let's see if it's there. What did I call it? Okay, so it's right here. Okay, and for this, once you have the paid version, I believe, which the district is working on upgrading to the trial for school, Seesaw for schools, you can upload up to 9 documents. So it could be like a 9-page, each page of a book that you want them to mark up. There's the opportunities are endless, but for keeping it simple, we're just going to leave it right there. Okay, I can write things in. I can create things for them to drag. So like if I wanted these words to be draggable, I could go over here and, oops, let's see. Is that going to work? Okay, so then I created a text box and I could just put it right over the text box here. And that way when they come on, they will just have to drag and drop. So let's see, let's do nurse. Oops. Oh dear. Okay, so I have nurse. All right. And then you can make them bigger or smaller. For time's sake, I'm going to stop there, press check. Okay, now my activity, it has a title, it has directions. I didn't add voice instructions, but you can. It has my lesson attached, and then it has the template that I want the students to manipulate attached. Now, if you had folders and such, you can go down to more options, and you can do different things like that. But for right now, I'm going to press save. Now I have my activity saved, and you can do right now, I know fitting into our schedule is just crazy, especially if you have young kids or, we have life going on at the same time. We can't always be available every minute throughout the day. So if you wanted to bulk record like every intro lesson for the next 4 weeks, you can do that, and you can just go through the process for each lesson and record them and label them so they're easy to find. And then you have those ready and you can just go through and assign when necessary. That's what I would recommend doing, but do what works best for you. So I'm going to press assign, and I'm going to go to my Seesaw class and I'm going to assign it. Now, when the students go to their activities, so this is their home screen when they're in, when they go to their activities, they're going to see this lesson right here. So you're going to want to make note that first you want them to click the link, then they will do the activity. So I would be more clear in the instructions here and add audio. So they're going to click on the link, and then their lesson's going to be right there. Hi guys, I'm hopping on to create a video to show you how to incorporate this screen. So after they have done their lesson or watched their lesson here, they will click add response, and then you will see here's the template I outlined for them, and their job is to fill out the template however accordingly. So here I'm going to drag, I think nurse goes there. I know that's not correct, but just to show you that the things that I did to manipulate, or you can just add this blank and they can type in their answers, whatever you prefer. Then they would go to turn in their answers, press check. Okay, so I turned in my answer. On your end, if you're looking at activities, you can see who has responded by clicking this bar right here. And it will give you, okay, these are all of my students, and say first grade responded. Theirs would be right here, and you can click on it, and it would show their work all compiled in one. So let me give you a better example real quick, and then I think that should get you started in incorporating your Screencastify lessons with your Seesaw account. So let me go to activities. Let me go to archived activities. And so here, this was a greater or less than activity. We linked a video, so you can link a video. This is just a YouTube video that's linked to teach them the lesson or review the lesson. Play instructions. So,
Hi guys. First, I want you to watch the video. Click on the link button and watch the video on comparing numbers. Then, I want you to push the X in the corner and go back to the Seesaw activity. Finally, I want you to complete the Seesaw activity showing me that you know how to compare numbers.
So you can see how clear and direct those instructions were. And then down here, I can click on my responses and I can see who has responded, who has not. I can click on Courtney's answers, and from there I can comment, I can like, I can put it into a folder, or I can go and I can edit her work. So I can go here, edit item, and then I can mark up anything that's incorrect or want to give feedback. Okay, so I hope that is helpful for you. I will try and pop on a couple more times. If you have any questions or want me to cover specific things with Screencastify and Seesaw, feel free to leave a comment in the Facebook group, and as my schedule permits, I can hop on and record little videos to try and help you. All right. Have a good night.